welcome to another edition of BJB Banner Today. I'm Tim Curtin. Sorry for putting this out just a hair later than we normally do. Sometimes, as we all know, life gets in the way. But today we're just going to run over a couple things real quick here to start the show, and then we thought we'd kind of take a look. One thing we haven't done is kind of take a look at some of the national rankings and kind of just take a look at where they have Creighton aligned heading into the season. And obviously, preseason rankings very seldom convert to postseason rankings, but we'll check out where the national people think Creighton's at right now. First of all, we want to thank our sponsors, Infusion Brewing Company. Check them all out at fusionbrewing.com. They've got all their fall beers lined up right now, and it's great to support these local brewers in our community. They put out a great product, so make sure anytime you can to support them, not only buying their product, but heading out to their tasting room and enjoying some of their great beer that they produce. So check them out, infusionbrewing.com. Also, as we mentioned the other day, RTI Threads, once again, going to be our sponsor here on Blue Jay Banner, and not only here on Blue Jay Banner today, but also on our post game. RTI has been a partner with Blue Jay Banner for several years, and we're so excited to expand that partnership this year. We've got some great things in store with RTI Threads, jersey giveaway, Creighton merchandise giveaway, Blue Jay Banner merchandise to give away. So they're going to be highly involved, autographed shirts given away. So you're going to want to tell all your friends about Blue Jay Banner and about RTI Threads. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube channels, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and also RTI Threads, because those will be some of the qualifications for you to get in the drawings to win a lot of these prizes that we have coming up throughout the season. So check them out. That's RTI Threads. And they put out fantastic. They are licensed to sell all kinds of Creighton gear, and they are the apparel sponsor of Blue Jay Banner. So thank you very much, RTI Threads. Make sure you hit that subscribe and like button. It helps us out a ton. Allows us to expand and move this program forward. We also want anybody out there who's got a business and would like to look into some sponsorships that are fairly affordable and a great way to reach tons of people, especially people in the Jays genre, so to speak. Put a comment below and we'll reach out to you. Or the best way is to send us an email, bluejaybanner@gmail.com. Send us an email, and we'd love to become partners with you, just like we did with RTI Threads and Infusion Brewing. So check that out as well. Okay, I thought we'd just kind of do some all over the board predictions. Like I've got three totally different type of predictions that have been put forward by various outlets across the country. And we'll kind of start out here with the first one is ESPN. I don't know, again, this one was fairly recently, so it's not totally, I wouldn't say inaccurate, so to speak, at all. You're going to see kind of a common thread. Most of these have the same teams towards the top. ESPN has Purdue at the top. Not unfamiliar. Purdue's been ranked number one quite a bit, but really hasn't produced championship basketball in the postseason. That's where they've struggled, and they continue to kind of struggle in that vein. So we'll see how the season goes for Coach Painter and everybody over at Purdue. They have number 2, Florida, a team that's highly ranked, a team that Golden had going last year, a team that I thought played quite a bit above their level last year. We'll see if that can convert again to year 2. And then 3, Houston, who, what I think of Kelvin Sampson. I think he's the best out there. And everything that they do defensively is off the charts. So I think you're going to see kind of those 1, 2, 3s pretty consistent. ESPN has 2 teams, not surprising since they're so Eastern-based. and kind of Eastern slanted views, they've got UConn number 4. I think that's incredibly high for UConn. Yeah, they've got Karaban and Ball, who are highly touted players nationally and so forth. But they've added a bunch of transfers. But I don't think anything jumps off the page to you. They've got they do have Braylon Mullins, one of the top recruits in the country, coming in. But we've seen limited success with that in the past. And so they've got Demery from Georgia. Nice transfer there. Malachi Smith, a very, very good player, who will really solidify themselves at the point with the losses that UConn had. But I still think it's too high for UConn. And then right behind them, St. John's, and I think this is really high again, although last year, we were reminded how good a coach Pitino is. Some of the players he brought on, I mean, he brought a kid in from Idaho State, brought a kid in from Cincinnati, Mitchell from Cincinnati, who's a good player. I like him. Hopkins is a guy coming off 2 seasons of injuries. He's not going to be the same Bryce Hopkins that you're used to seeing. I think, though, with his experience, he's somebody that Pitino can really build on, because Pitino really wanted to get more shooting. He didn't have much shooting last year. So some of these guys he's bringing in, Sellers from Stanford, Sandin from Arizona State, they're shooters. Ian Jackson from North Carolina. But we'll see. We'll see what he has. He does have Ejiofor coming back, who was really impressive in the post. So he's going to be a load for everybody St. John's plays. But again, the other one they have next up, and I'm not going to go through every team here, but is Louisville, number 6. Again, we saw them in the NCAA tournament. They played in a watered-down ACC. I think this is way too high, despite the fact that they've got a tremendous amount of players back, and they have a very deep roster. But okay, let's see what you do in year 2. The last team I mentioned in the top 10 is BYU. They're a team I would have top 5. I think they've got a roster, and of course, with the number 1 player in the country coming in, AJ Dybansta, he's the real deal. So he will be very, very, very impressive. As we scroll on down the list here, your usual suspects, your Arizonas, Arkansas, UCLA's, Iowa State's, Illinois, so forth, year in, year out. Tennessee's in the top 20. Alabama, probably, I think, a little bit low. They're almost down to 20. Then comes Gonzaga, a future Creighton opponent, at number 20. So if you go by these rankings, that means they've got the Jays right in there at 23. So, right behind Kansas at 22. So if you're going to go off of that, which obviously is very dangerous, but if you go off of that, the Jays have a better than even shot at going into Spokane and winning on the road at Gonzaga. Then I kind of plucked out the USA Today poll. I think just trying to, I'm sorry, I'm not the USA Today. That was done way back in the summer, and I wanted to get a more current one. So I got one from Yahoo Sports that was done not very long ago. Yahoo, same kind of deal. They have Houston 1, Purdue 2, Florida 3. So just mixed up where ESPN had them. They also have UConn, St. John's 5, 6. So very similar to what ESPN had. And they've got BYU 8. So all those teams are kind of in the same general category. Your Kentuckys and Dukes kind of round out the top 10. As we said, the same cast of characters. They also have Gonzaga at 20, so that's pretty consistent. And then Creighton, they do not have in their top 25. They have Creighton listed at number 26. So, I don't have a big problem with that. I don't know. I think Creighton's somewhere 20 to 30, personally. I think it's kind of a wait and see thing. Obviously, we play a very quality schedule. Iowa State's consistently in the top 15 in these rankings, so that's obviously an excellent opponent. And then also Baylor. I haven't seen Baylor in these rankings. Most of the time, Baylor's been ranked outside the top 25. So that goes from there. Now I thought I thought I'd look at something a little more analytical and a little more metric base driven, and that's to take a look at the Torvik ratings. Bart Torvik is basically averages out all the computer rankings and puts them together and has his own numbers he uses to come up with the rankings. He has Houston number 1. A lot of the bracketologists now, especially younger bracketologists, seem to lean toward Torvik in their projections. I mean, I don't think he's any more accurate or right on than Ken Palm or any of the other ones. Houston, he's got Houston number 1. He's got Duke number 2, which is a little surprising, and Michigan 3, and then Purdue and Florida and BYU and St. John's in the top 7. So he doesn't have UConn as high up as others. He has UConn sitting there at number 10. Smartly, though, he has Louisville, in my opinion, smartly, has Louisville 11, quite a bit down from what the other rankings that we talked about had. Iowa State stuck right at 15. That seems to be the consistent marker of where they're at. And he has Creighton at 23. So similar to what ESPN had them. So Creighton, St. John's, UConn, 1, 2, 3, nobody else really in sight. If you scroll down, Torvik ranks way down. Baylor is at 35. He has Gonzaga at 24. He has them actually below Creighton. So I think that's going to be more of a competitive game than a lot of Creighton fans think it is. Baylor 35. Kind of a team close to us. Iowa he has at 37. And then he has Nebraska at 44. It's a pretty nice ranking for this Nebraska team, frankly. A team we're familiar with quite a bit, San Diego State, 45. He has Villanova, so he would have Villanova as the 4th best Big East team. That's a little of a head-scratcher. He has them 50 and has Marquette at 53. Has Providence at 57. The one outlier to me, like, if you look at just Big East teams on here, he has DePaul at 70 and Georgetown 71. I can't see DePaul being that high right now until they prove it. Georgetown, yeah, that's pretty accurate. But the one I think he has way down too far is Xavier at 74. I think they're going to be better than that. Butler is 79. I think they're a team to watch. Future Jays opponent, I should say. Kansas State, he has 80th. And that's about it as far as teams in the top 100. We flowed down quite a ways down the list. High Point, just to let you know, Huss's old teams, it comes in at 111. Not bad for a team, a mid-major team. Seton Hall, he has at 122. Murray State, 125. I think Murray State will be above. I would be very confident in saying Murray State will be in these rankings, computer rankings, above Seton Hall by the end of the year. I don't think that's I feel very confident. He has Drake at 136. And that's about it. Omaha, we'll give you one more. Omaha that he has at 154. So I think it kind of gives you a flavor of where the national people have Creighton, somewhere around 20 to 26-ish. I think that's pretty accurate. Gonzaga kind of falls in that same category. St. John's, UConn, top 10. And then it is a huge drop to the next Big East team. So it is going to be basically those 3 teams fighting for the conference title. So I think if you go off past history, you would, have to say that Creighton in the top 3 of the Big East is pretty solidly going to be in the NCAA tournament. And where they rank, who knows? But that's what we know right now heading into the season. I do want to mention one thing, and that is BlueJayBanner.com, and I'll talk more about that in a second. BlueJayBanner.com on the On3 network. Get your up-to-date recruiting information. Has the most active Creighton message board around. So check it all out. Go to on3.com. Check it out. I think they have a trial 7 days totally free, or 7 days for $1. So check it out. See if you like it. We're going to come up with some features. In fact, one of our posters over there, South J, said sent something out to me, and then he and I discussed it offline. And that's like, hey, how about we could you do like a weekly thing where every day, once a week, we're going to talk about these 3 things. One of them was practice, observation of practice. Those I kind of do a practice report just for our members only. It doesn't go out to the public. It's only members only. So I think you will all find that very beneficial as we move through the season. So all of that's contained there. Inside recruiting news, we do cover, and that's something we will cover in a new feature on the message board every Thursday. We'll have a updated recruiting, any tidbits we hear around the country. We have some of the best analysts in the country, Joe Tipton among them, from Tipton Edits. He's been terrific with us. We also get, I have a couple other national recruiting experts I've leaned on over the years, and they feed me information as well. And we discuss players and so forth, and all the inside info we can get from the program as well, and from agents, from high school and AAU coaches, for parents, so forth. So check it all out. It's all there at BlueJayBanner.com, which leads me to this. The third part of South J's post was having just tidbits and so forth and nuggets. That's something we're going to do on these podcasts. We're going to schedule it for Thursdays because most of the time we won't have to do a game preview on here on Blue Jay Banner Today for a game on Thursdays, nor we'll have a few maybe follow-ups as far as a game that's played Wednesday. Some, after we've slept on a little bit, some secondary thoughts. But Thursday will be a day we will use to catch you all up on all nuggets. Either mostly, obviously, we're number one focused on the basketball team, but then on other sports such as women's basketball, volleyball, and then the Creighton athletic community in large, anything going on with the athletics, how the building process is going on campus with these new buildings. I spoke to someone yesterday intimately connected with the construction and the prep for construction, and they're beginning to work on that performance center that's going to be on the other side of the roof. They're starting work on that as we speak. So things coming along nicely. They're working along. There's a lot of what you don't realize when they're preparing that ground for the baseball practice field. There's a lot of stuff underground there because that was city, right? City buildings and so forth. So there's a lot of things they've got to move. A lot of things they got to be careful they don't break. A lot of electrical, plumbing, all kinds of things, waterworks, you name it. So it takes a long time to get that set and built, and that's what they're working on right now. And as that moves along, we'll give you updates on progress on that. The softball field, as we said, I posted some pictures last week on Twitter about the softball field, and the team was out practicing. It's a fantastic facility, man. We are, when this gets done, we are going to have the number one facilities in the Big East, bar none. And I would think we'd have to rank very highly in the country, seriously. Right up there with power football schools as far as basketball, softball, baseball, women's sports, volleyball, indoor practice facilities for soccer. Soccer stadium is already ranked in the top 2 or 3 in the country. Just unbelievable what's happening down on the hilltop. All right, that's it for today. What we will do the rest of the week, we're obviously going to have Random J of the Week. And it looks like we're going to probably be next week with our interview with Coach DeVries as he gets back from Big Ten Media Days. So they're going to try and set up a time at some point here so we can discuss. Next week, we won't have a full lineup of shows. I'm going to be out of pocket a little while next week. So next week, we'll only go with a four show rotation, which will take Friday off, a week from Friday off. And then we'll kick it back up the following week. Probably take the following Monday off as well because I'll be out of town for a few days. All right. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Make sure and hit up our sponsors, RTI Threads and Infusion Brewing Company. And we're hoping to garner some more sponsors here in the next few days, which we'll let you know about. And again, if you're interested, hit us up with an email, bluejbanner@gmail.com. All right. Thanks, everybody. Go Jays.